What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the video. For this video, we're going to do what the title says and predict the 2025 Cleveland Browns record. And starting off their season, they're going to be playing their division rival Cincinnati Bengals at home for week 1. And I actually have the Browns winning this one. And the reason being is because the Bengals genuinely are so bad in week 1 that I just cannot pick them to win. So by that process, congratulations, Browns. You get to start off the season with a record of 1-0. Alright, and heading to week 2, the Browns will be playing against another arch rival. This time it'll be on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, I mean, it's the AFC North, so anything can happen, but at the same time, it's the Browns and the Ravens, so I see no reason why the Browns would win this game, so I'm going to have to give them a loss here and say that they start 1-1. Alright, and heading to week 3, the Browns will be at home against the Green Bay Packers. And this is another game. I'd say to a lesser extent, it's similar to what I said about the Ravens, because the Packers, I would say they're more of a borderline Super Bowl contender than like an actual one. But they're still miles better than the Browns. And I just think that this is going to be a blowout. So I think the Browns are going to lose this game too and go to 1-2. Alright, heading to week number 4, the Browns will be on the road taking on the Detroit Lions. And, I mean, I don't know what to say here. I mean, the Packers, I didn't think they were going to beat the Packers when they were at home. And I would say the Lions are better than the Packers. The Browns are on the road. I mean, there's really not much to say here. I think the Browns are going to lose this game and go to 1-3. Alright, and heading to week 5, this game is actually being played in London, so the Browns being at home is kind of irrelevant, so it's kind of just a neutral sighting. And they're going to be playing against the Minnesota Vikings, and I think this could be a good game, but at the same time, the Vikings offense is loaded. And I mean, I know JJ McCarthy is pretty much a rookie, but at the same time, I don't think that's going to take into effect too much on this outcome of the game, just because the Browns are a bad team, the Vikings are a good team. And considering that this is pretty much a neutral site for both parties, I'm going to have to go with the Vikings here and say the Browns lose and go to 1-4. Alright, and heading to week 6, the Browns will be on the road against their arch rival Pittsburgh Steelers. And we got some more AFC North football. And I would like to say the Browns could win this game, but at the same time, I really can't do that, considering that I think the Steelers are actually going to be pretty good this year. And the Browns are on the road, and they just got back from London because last week they played in London against the Vikings, as I just mentioned. So, again, I really don't see any way the Browns win a game like this, so I'm going to have to, unfortunately, drop them down to 1-5. Alright, and heading to week 7, the Browns will be at home taking on the Miami Dolphins. And they are at home, so that's something to note. So possibly they could win this game, but I really don't see it. It's still early enough to where the Dolphins are still going to be functional on offense. And I think that's going to be a big problem for the Browns because they have no offense. And I really don't think their defense is good enough to stop the Dolphins' offensive attack. So I'm going to have to say that the Browns lose this game too and fall to 1-6. Alright, and heading to week 8, the Browns will be on the road taking on the New England Patriots. And this will definitely be a game. I mean, it won't be great. I mean, it'll be competitive, but it's not exactly going to be circled on calendars for people to watch. But I honestly do like the Browns' chances in this game. I mean, the Patriots, I would say their future is brighter than the Browns, considering the Browns are stupid and don't know what the hell they're doing. But I will say that I think the Browns defense can give the Patriots offense some trouble considering how young they are. So I'm going to say the Browns win this game. I think they're going to go into Arrowhead and beat the Patriots and improve their record to 2-6. And week 9 is the Browns bye week. They're sitting at 2-6. I mean, this is probably about what most people would expect. The Browns aren't expected to be good, and I really don't see a light at the end of the tunnel for them. Alright, heading to week number 10, the Browns will be on the road taking on the New York Jets. And you think that coming off the bye week, the Browns would win this game, because I really don't think the Jets are that great of a team either. But I actually have the Browns losing here. I think just because I think the Jets are going to have some sort of momentum. They're going to have more momentum than the Browns. And it also doesn't help that I do think the Jets' future is brighter than the Browns at this point in time. Not to mention, I mean, they have players that are good. I mean, they're not a no-talent team or anything like that. And the Browns, honestly, at least offensively, they kind of are. So I'm going to say the Browns lose this game and drop down to 2-7. Alright, and heading to week 11, the Browns will be at home taking on the Baltimore Ravens for the second and final time this season. And we got some more AFC North football, so anything can happen. And I actually think the Browns are going to win this game. I think, a broken clock is right 2 times a day, and I think this is going to be a good example of that. And also, not to mention, it's a divisional game, and those always tend to be weird. So I'm actually going to give the Browns the benefit of the doubt here, say they win this game, and go to 3-7. Alright, and heading to week 12, the Browns will be on the road taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. And I will say, this is another game for the Browns that I do think is winnable, but I still don't think they're going to win. I mean, it's kind of similar to what I said with the Jets. It's like, the Raiders are also a rebuilding team like the Browns are, but at the same time, the Raiders, they got better in the offseason. The Browns, I really don't think they got better. At least not that much better. So I'm going to say the Browns lose this game and drop down to 3-8. Alright, and for week 13, the Browns will be at home taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And the 49ers, they're a good team. And normally, this would be a cut and dry. The Browns are a bad team. The 49ers are a good team. So the 49ers are going to win. But something's telling me I think the Browns are going to randomly win this game because it happens in the NFL. Teams seem to just win random ass games. And I think this is going to be an example of that as the Browns beat the 49ers and improve their record to 4-8. Alright, and heading to week 14, the Browns will be at home taking on the Tennessee Titans. And this is another game I really don't think a lot of people are going to watch it just because of the two teams that are playing. But I think it could go either way, I'll say that. And I do think the Titans are going to win just because, they have Cam Ward, and I think he's going to start to really come into his own at this point in time in the season. I mean, I don't think he's going to be like Patrick Mahomes or anything, but I think he'll be a respectable rookie. And I think because of that, the Browns are going to struggle to stop him and lose this game and drop down to 4-9. Alright, and heading to week 15, the Browns will be on the road taking on the Chicago Bears. And I hate to be boring, but all the shit I said about the Titans and Browns, it's honestly the same thing, but more amplified because the Browns are on the road. The Bears, in my opinion, are better than the Titans. So, yeah, I think the Browns are going to lose this game too and drop down to 4-10. Alright, and heading to week 16, the Browns will be at home taking on the Buffalo Bills. And not much needs to be said here. The Bills are a Super Bowl contender, and the Browns are a number 1 overall pick contender. And I really don't think being at home is going to really help the Browns out that much. So I'm going to say they lose this game and drop down to 4-11. Alright, and heading to week 17, we got more AFC North football. The Browns will be at home taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I will say, the Steelers do have the potential to lose a game like this because I think the Steelers' record is going to be pretty good at this point in time, so they might slip up and lose a game like this. But I don't think they will. I think the Browns are still not a good enough team to win a game like this. So I'm going to say the Browns lose this game and extend their losing streak to 4 as they drop to 4-12. And ending their season, the Browns will be on the road taking on the Cincinnati Bengals for their final AFC North football matchup this season. And I'm going to be real, I really don't think the Browns are going to sweep the Bengals. And also the Bengals are going to be fighting their tails off for a playoff spot. So I really don't think they are going to fall for a trap game at this point in the season. So I'm going to say that the Browns lose this game to have a final record of 4-13. And there you have it, 4-13 as their final record. Obviously, it's not what Browns fans want, but I mean, you can't be that surprised. The Browns are just not the greatest roster, and their morale is terrible. They have one of the worst morales in the NFL, just considering the decision they made to give Deshaun Watson a fully guaranteed contract despite all the sexual misconduct allegations he's had. And it's just been a mess with the Browns ever since. And I will say positively, I think Joe Flacco, I don't think he's a terrible quarterback. It's just he's on a terrible team. And when he was on the team a few years ago when they made the playoffs, it was like their team was better and their morale wasn't as bad as it is now. And I also don't really think Shedeur Sanders is that good of a quarterback. I think he has too much of an ego on him to be a good quarterback. And I just don't like the outlook for the Browns. And obviously they're going to miss the playoffs. 4-13 will never get a team in the playoffs. And that's going to do it for this video. And if you're a Browns fan, I don't know how you deal with it. I envy you guys and your willingness to stick with your team. I don't know how you do it, to be honest, but more power to you, I guess. And yeah, that's going to end the video. And if you're still watching, I appreciate you. And I will have a Baltimore Ravens prediction video out probably later today. So if you want to watch that, go ahead. And I'll see you there. Sayonara.